Want to supercharge your Squarespace site with AI-generated code, but terrified you'll break everything? I get it. I've seen too many designers accidentally break things on their site because they skipped the testing phase. So today I'm showing you exactly how to safely test AI code without risking your live site or losing visitors. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Rebecca Grace from Rebecca Grace Designs, and I help you break free of the Squarespace editor limitations using code. If you're tired of Squarespace's limitations and want to push beyond what the editor allows, you're in the right place. AI tools are incredible for generating custom code. But here's the thing, poorly written code can absolutely wreck your site. So let's dive into my foolproof testing system that protects your site while you experiment. Before we jump into testing, let me share something crucial. I have a comprehensive guide called Using AI to Code for Squarespace, Why You Need the Basics. The title kind of says it all. Even with AI doing the heavy lifting, you still need the fundamental coding knowledge. And so I highly suggest that you check out this guide to see the benefits and the drawbacks of using AI-generated code. Plus, I also show some real examples of how basic coding knowledge can save you from disasters and save you a ton of time. So I'll link it in the description because understanding these foundations, these basics, will make everything we're about to cover much more effective. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Will my code absolutely wreck my site if it's wrong? For CSS and HTML, you're pretty safe here. Even when these messes up, you just sort of get weird colors, wonky layouts, or elements that don't really display right. So the beautiful thing is that you can just delete the code and it will go back to normal. But with JavaScript, this is where you need to be more careful. We're talking about infinite loops that crash browsers, broken interactive elements, conflicts with Squarespace's built-in features or other plugins you have on your site. It won't permanently destroy your site, but it can make it look pretty unprofessional, and I have had it lock me out of the site before, and I had to contact Squarespace help in order to get them to undo it. So before you touch any code, there's a few things that you need to do. First, back up your site. Squarespace doesn't really make this easy, but one of the ways that you can do this is duplicate your site into a second site on your account or download your XML files. Kate Scott has a really good blog post on this, so I'm just going to post a link to that in the description. It's the best guide that I've found so far for this, and rather than redo her work, I'll just share her work with you. And so check that out, and it goes over all of the things that you can do to back up your site. The second thing is to create a trial site playground. If you're going to be testing, especially JavaScript code or you're super new at code and just want the best safety protocol that you can, I highly suggest just starting a trial site in your Squarespace account. Name it like Playground or something like that. And this can be your sort of testing laboratory. You can mirror your live site if you want as closely as possible, or just play around with the code to get more comfortable with it. You can use the same template that you chose at the beginning. You can put in similar content, whatever you want. This is where you're really just testing things. If it breaks, it's no big deal. The third way, if you're not using JavaScript or you're a little bit more comfortable with code, then you can use a duplicate page on your site. So if I'm testing code and I want to see how it applies to other areas of my site, then I will just duplicate that page. Let's say I'm working on the homepage. I would duplicate my homepage, name it something like homepage test or something like that. Make sure it's in your not linked section, and then you can just test your code on there. That way it's still interacting with your live site. You're going to see how it interacts with the other elements that are on your site, but it's not going to show anything on the live version. And so here is my exact process that saved me countless headaches. Step 1, copy your AI code into the right spots in your testing environment. In general, this means that CSS goes in your custom CSS box, JavaScript goes in the code injection, either in the header, footer, or on the individual page, and HTML is in code blocks on your page. There is other exceptions to this, but this is sort of generally where I place things. My second tip is to just do one section at a time. So if AI has given you a huge amount of code, then I suggest you do it in pieces so that you can test each piece individually and know if there is a spot that is broken. Make sure that you add comments to each section of code explaining what it does. I have a whole blog post about keeping your code clean and organized, and I'll link that in the description below. Trust me, future you will thank you when you're debugging or cleaning up your code months later, and it's not just some random lines of code, but you have comments telling you what each code does and what it affects. Step 3, when things break, and they will, then you need to make sure you're debugging systematically. Broken code doesn't mean that you don't know how to code or that you need to get better at code. It happens to everybody. It's part of the coding process. And so there's a few things you can do to debug it and make sure you're doing it in a systematic way. First, if it's JavaScript, you can check your browser console for errors and see if it tells you in there. If it's in the CSS custom box, then it will have some red text at the bottom that pops up and says, you're missing a bracket and possibly what line of the code that the error is on. And so you want to kind of figure out where in the code is the error. Another thing you can do is put in comments to section or turn off part of your code in order to isolate where that error is. Once you've figured out where the error is, then you can go through and check some of the most common mistakes. For example, in CSS, the wrong selector is often a common mistake, especially with AI generated code. If it doesn't know Squarespace specifically, then it's probably going to get wrong how to target the element. And so if nothing has happened on your site, chances are it has the wrong selector. It could also target a different element or too many elements, and so the selector will need to be edited, altered, or made more specific. And so there's lots of ways that the selector can affect whether the code is working, so check that first. The next thing you can do is see if it has any missing properties or wrong properties. Sometimes certain coding properties require others to work. I actually have a free PDF guide with the 41 most popular CSS properties and their values and some tips about using them. And so I suggest you download that to help you with your debugging. And I'll provide a link to that below. So once your code is working, you've debugged it, you've tested your code, and it works perfect in the testing area, then what do you do? Well, the first thing is to copy it into the exact same location on your live site. So if you're working in a playground, a trial site, you're going to copy and paste that to the same spot you used it in the playground. If you're doing it on a duplicate page on your site, then unless the code is located on the page specifically, then you don't really need to move it. You will, however, have to update any IDs you used in your code. So if the code that you were testing was on a different page or a different section or in your playground, then the IDs will have changed between section, pages, sites. So you have to make sure that you update any IDs that you used. Then finally go through your entire testing process again. Make sure that everything is working as it should. Make sure you're checking on different browsers, different screen sizes, different devices. Make sure you're checking the entire site and not just that page. Make sure it's not affecting a heading 2 on a different page or a gallery on a different page. And so just make sure that it is working on the page that you've put it on, but also on all other pages in different browsers, devices, screen sizes, and so on. Also check that it hasn't broken any other plugins or code that you have on your site because it may clash with other code. Make sure your form buttons click and work and all of that. And so go through everything and check that everything is as it should be. If I've made a bunch of coding changes, then I like to also recheck my page speed and making sure that my site is functioning as it should. I do have another detailed post about all the different places that you can actually add code and how to keep things organized. So if you're planning to use a lot of custom code, definitely check that out. And again, I'll link that in the description. So all in all, don't let fear stop you from customizing your Squarespace site with code. Start small, test everything, and build your confidence with each win. Your visitors will never know that you're experimenting behind the scenes, especially if you've followed all of the steps that I outlined in this video. Make sure to grab all those free resources and the blog posts that I mentioned, the CSS properties guide, my post about AI coding basics, and how to organize and clean up your code. They're all linked in the description and will seriously level up your Squarespace game. So now that you know how to safely test code for Squarespace, check out this video on 5 steps to clean up your code on your Squarespace website.